PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, guys, here we go. Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Another PWCC weekly auction recap. We're going to kick you some info on the top 48 highest selling basketball cards from last night's PWCC weekly auction number 107. Just a heads up, two orders of business. Number one, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button on this video. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications of when new videos on the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel drops. Number two, and most importantly, coming up very soon is the weekly auction number 109. February is Jordan month at PWCC. Weekly auction number 109 is going to be very special. For me, I've got almost 200 Michael Jordan cards in the PWCC weekly auction number 109. So if you're interested in growing your Jordan collection, if you're interested in collecting a lot of the cards that you see on the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan Hierarchy Project, if you're interested in collecting Jordan cards on a budget, some of these cards that I got back from the cross-country collection, in fact, more than 150 cards from this cross-country collection that I got back are going to be available in this auction. There's going to be a Cajun Cardboard filter in weekly auction number 109, and that ends on February 18th. It begins on February 8th, so 3 days from now, that auction starts. This Thursday, auction number 109 opens. I'll talk more about it on the channel. You'll see some more content on that. But there's going to be a Cajun Cardboard filter where it's all my cards. There's also going to be a Tier 3 Hierarchy Project filter where you can search for just cards in Tier 3 of the Hierarchy Project. And then there'll also be a Tier 4 filter as well. Some of my cards will appear in the Tier 3 filter or the Tier 4 filter, as well as the Cajun Cardboard filter. So the tech geniuses at PWCC figured out a way. If you're looking for cards in a particular thing, it could appear in more than one filter. So I am excited about that. I'm really excited. And again, just to be clear, I'm not getting out of collecting Michael Jordan. You guys know that. Cajun Eternity is my motto. All paths lead to Jordan. These are cards that either I have a higher copy of or I have duplicate copies of that I am moving in order to sort of recycle, build a war chest, and then push even harder into the Michael Jordan cards that I don't already own. So this is the only way that I know how to do it. A lot of these cards, like I said, come from the cross-country collection. All right, that's enough. Let's get going. Card number 48 on the list, LeBron Chrome BGS 9.5. Gym Plus does $2,000. I remember when I was buying these cards, and I was not buying them for $2,000. One of my worst investments in the history of this hobby. I've got some really good stories about making tons of money. I've got some really bad stories about getting punched straight in the teeth. The LeBron Chrome venture was one of the worst in my illustrious collecting career. We got a cartoon LeBron 9.5 does $2,070. We got a 2018 Select Courtside Silver Prism Doncic Men Gym sold for $2,070. I don't know if you guys remember, but when people realized just how short printed these courtsides were back then, right? Not now, because there's like 11 million different colors. But back then there was just silver, and it was Doncic Silver Prism. This is a Pop 28 card. If we look at the Pop report, combined between PSA and BGS, there are only 70 courtside gym Doncic rookie cards. So if you're looking for a Doncic rookie card that's actually rare, certainly rare by ultra modern standards, maybe not by 90s collector standards, but rare, there's only 70 gems, and this card has been getting destroyed. And Doncic has been otherworldly, to say the least. This card is down 81.8% over the last 24 months, culminating in last night's sale of $2,070, which is the worst sale of the last 9 sales. So not good news there for Doncic collectors. Great news there if you're a Doncic investor, right? Maybe the bottom is near and it's time to jump in, but each week we start to see a new bottom on Doncic stuff, which is really kind of confusing to me. Maybe it's just because there's so many options out there. So even a rare courtside silver, there's still probably 100 better Doncic rookie cards that you could purchase if you really wanted to, right? 2012 Select Patch Auto, Kobe does 2070. The Johnny Red Kerr Syracuse and Nationals PSA 9 does 2100. A Kobe Revolution. These cards are on-card autographs, by the way. These Revolution autographs. I had a bunch of De'Aaron Fox Revolution rookie autographs that I moved and did pretty well on. 2019 Revolution Kobe 9 does 2220. Patch Auto Steph 2250. The next card I want to look up, and I'm not looking up this card per se, but this is the EX 2000 credentials. I just did a video with one of my good buddies in the hobby, mid-level MJs, and he did some research on this particular card. And serial number to 499, NBA Authentic. Obviously, the big problem with these cards, I've talked about it over and over, especially in the Hierarchy Project, but even often, every time I see the card, I talk about it. The top is where you can see that the card has been diamond cut. If you look at the card, it doesn't line up. The top border doesn't line up with the top of the window pane. It doesn't line up with the word credentials, and that is an eyesore. This card went for only $2,370. Here's why I think it was actually a good purchase. Let me show you guys. This is what a BGS 7.5 sells for. The last one was down from 8,000, 7,000. The last 7.5 sold for 4,620. And this cat last night, this buyer picked this up for 2,370. I think there's a really good chance this thing will grade a BGS 7.5. Am I crazy? I mean, 7.5 is a damn bad grade. So I think somebody picked up a card with lots of margin right there. You could put that in a 7.5, or God, you may even hit an 8.5, and then you can sell this card for tremendous profit. That would be an incredible return. That's a $6,500 card. So it is authentic because NBA verified it. Jalen Green, who's starting to pick up, by the way, and become more efficient. He couldn't get less efficient. He's actually had a really good season, and it's completely off the radar because everybody's focused on the big Turk Şengün that's in the middle for the Rockets, and everybody's kind of sort of hyper focused on that. But Jalen Green, this is his 75th anniversary, serial number 75, BGS 910, does $2,400 right there. One of Carmelo's coolest rookie cards is Black Refractor, PSA 10 does $2,400. That does not seem like a lot of money for one of the NBA's greatest scorers of all time, albeit a not very collectible or collected player. But there are collectors out there, in a PSA 10 Black Refractor doing only $2,400. That seems low to me. I think Carmelo's cards probably deserve a little bit more attention, and a little bit more value than that. 2002 Upper Deck 9 Kobe Patch Auto, serial number to 100. This is a Pop 1, none higher, from 2002 Upper Deck. It does $2,400. These Raise the Roof cards are badass, man. These are really good looking cards. It's 1999, so third year Duncan, PSA 7, serial number to only 100. This card does $2,400. The Pink Pulsar Doncic PSA 9 does $2,520. Those were serial numbered to an arbitrary 42 for some reason. And then my good friend Monk's Cards, go follow him on Instagram if you haven't. He is getting out of certain cards and sort of hyper-focusing on this PMG Red set from 1997 that he's collecting, so he's looking to move some inventory. Last night he moved 3 cards that we're going to look at in this top 48. First, namely, this 1993 Ultra Scoring Kings PSA 10. He used the Cajun promo code. That's for damn sure. CAJUN is a one way you can support the Cajun Cardboard channel. My friend Steve, I know, used the Cajun promo code. Therefore, a little piece of PWCC's money comes to support the Cajun Cardboard channel. This card sold for $2,520. Let's check it out. That's a good sale, right? That card is up from the $2,114. So I messaged Steve this morning. I said, man, your cards did really well last night. The Shaq Scoring Kings, the Shaq members only beam team, which we're about to see, and then the Duncan Go Nuts Jordan PSA 10. Also, all 3 cards jumped from the last sale, if I recall. We'll look at it a little bit closer in just a second. And then again, of course, that is a Shaq second year card, not a rookie. 2019 Downtown Zion from 1-in-1 does $2,640. Remember him. BGS Chrome, BGS 9.5. This is a Gem Plus copy. All these look green to me. I don't know how else to look at it. It just doesn't look like Laker yellow to me. I don't know if it's green or it's not green. They just, every time I see one of these, it just freaking looks green. It's kind of like the 1993 Finest Jordan base. $2,640 for that one. The aforementioned monster in the middle, the poor man's Jokic, not that poor, but poor man's Jokic. Serial number to 25, 2-color patch, Shingun, flawless. Serial number to 25, on-card auto, BGS 9.510 does 2,760. And then right next to him, Papa Bear Jokic, number 2000, from 2015. These Ruby Waves were serial numbered to only 350. This is a PSA 10 copy. It does $2,880. What about the Championship Galaxy PSA 9? I'm about to show you a graph that's going to show you just how damn steady a card can possibly be through a market reset. This is the 97 Metal Universe, by my vote, the best set from the 90s, period. All things considered, base, inserts, parallel, all that, all things considered, 97 Metal Universe would be my vote for the best of the best from 1990 sets. This PSA 9 Jordan Championship Galaxy, which is featured in the Cajun Cardboard Michael Jordan hierarchy, this PSA 9 does $3,000. Look at that graph. Minus 250, up 250, whatever, you call it whatever you want. That card's flat. It's up from the last sale, which is good to see, from $2,850 to $3,000. But look at these sales. All of them are within like a $300 range here. $2,850 is the lowest. Where's the highest? $3,099 is the highest. So you're looking at within a $250 range for 8 consecutive sales. So we know what this card's worth. That's the number for now, at least. So pretty predictable sale right there. The Choice Prism Red is serial number to only 88, and this Doncic does 3,360. Right next to that, we've got a very, very badass Russell Westbrook Oklahoma City rookie card, BGS 9. This is a red refractor, which means it's serial numbered to only 5. BGS 9 10 auto does 3360. The optic autograph Doncic does 3480 and a BGS 9.5 10 auto slab. And then a super rare fusion. This will pop 1, guys. So serial numbered out of 250, not the fusion titanium, but the fusion. Serial numbered at 250. You also get a little bonus Ghost Rodman in the foreground of that card. 3720 for that great KG pickup. And a PSA 10 slab. I have not seen that. I have not seen very many fusions of any players in PSA 10 slab, so that's a rare card indeed. Triple in-person autograph, 610 on the Bird Magic Irving scoring leader. PSA 6 for the card, PSA 10 for the autos, does 3960. I think this was also Steve Davis's card, the Take It to .net PSA 9. Actually, no, you know what? I don't think that is his card, because I sold him the PSA 10 Take It to .net from the cross-country collection that I got back, because I already had a 9.5 and I needed to pay off the loan that I took out to buy the damn thing. By the way, that Prism Red Doncic right there, look at that graph, down 76%. We've looked at 2 Doncic cards, down 81% over the last 2 years, down 76%, almost 77% over the last 2 years. What is happening? I think it's not that there's a lot of this card out there. It's not that there's a lot of this card out there. That's not the issue. It's not that these are high pop cards. It's that when you add up all of the different parallels, even the low serial numbered shit, it comes to a big number. There's just a lot of options to choose from Doncic, including all of his RPAs. We haven't even talked about any of that stuff. So I think there's just too many cards printed of the dude, not necessarily those cards, but just cards in general. And he's doing, I keep saying this, there's no player in the NBA right now that I am more confident becoming a top 10 player all time. Who's a young player, right? We're talking about prospects. Becoming a top 10 player of all time than Luka Doncic. I truly believe in him. I would love to invest in Luka Doncic, and we're getting to the point where I might consider it, but it just scares me because there's so many of them out there. Tiger Stripes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. People think you can't invest in ultra modern. You investors out there, collectors, of course. Many people now collect SGA, but you don't think you could invest in SGA? Well, let me show you that you can. This is just the last year. 11 sales. This card's way up 50%. There's real money to be made on this card. You could have bought down here at $2,000. This one last night sold for a roaring $4,560. That is a noticeable, consistent upward trend right there over a pretty decent sample size. I skipped over the PSA 9, Take It to .net. Here's another Jordan card that's doing great in the middle of a market reset, up 46% over the last year to a 43.20 sale. That is a huge number and a huge jump from the last one, which was 32.40. So Jordan looking good. SGA looking really good. We're going to look up another Jordan. Let's just go straight to it. Another great Jordan card from the 90s. And guess what? up 23% over the last 6 sales, just as a BGS 9, just the kind of collectors, right? This is kind of the collector's grade, right? Guys who just want to collect the cards. They're not worried about chasing the gems. These are the types of grades: BGS 8.5, PSA 8, BGS 9, right? Up 23% over the last year for that. Hot Shots Jordan. We've got the Choice Dragon, whatever that means. Serial number to, I guess, nothing. PSA 9, Doncic goes for $49.20. This is when select, I think it's a courtside tie-dye here, serial number to 25, PSA 10, does $4,920 for Tatum, who is, I know this is going to sound crazy because his numbers don't look like SGA or Jokic. Embiid is out of the MVP picture. So you've got Giannis, and you've got Tatum, and you've got Doncic sort of on the outside looking in. And then I think right now it's a 2-horse race with the great Nikola Jokic and SGA, who's pushing. Team success is obviously what could vault SGA over Jokic, despite being slightly behind statistically, although SGA's stats are mind-boggling. It seems like every game he's like 11 for 16, but he's not, but it seems that way, right? A 97 Skybox EX 2001 Jordan PSA 10. Guys, this is not an insert. This is not a parallel. This is a freaking base card. $5,280. I've got one of these. I've got a couple of these. These are bitches to grade. Let me just say that. The acetate portion specifically is susceptible to surface flecking and surface damage. This is a Pop 13 in a PSA 10. I've got it pulled up on the Card Ladder database. Here we go. Down 30%, 5,280. If you look at it, it's some weird stuff going on. Somebody paid over $10,000 for it not too long ago. That seems a little bit disturbing. Jordan Autograph Patch 99 does $5,400 from Upper Deck Premier. Noteworthy. That's serial number to 69. A very sexy card, if I do say so myself. That's one of my favorite serial number cards. 2016 Prism Jaylen Brown Gold PSA 10. Jaylen Brown. What is the deal with Jaylen Brown? He's an all-star, but he's the beta. We thought for a while there, who is the alpha? Is it him or Tatum? It's clearly Tatum. I'll go on record as saying I really thought Jaylen Brown had an opportunity to be better. He just can't dribble the effing ball, man. The dude just can't dribble, and it makes it very difficult to be a 3-level scorer if you can't freaking dribble. It's hard to get to counter moves and stuff like that. It's just, people can game plan and figure you out when you can't dribble. He will be the greatest 3-and-D of all time, and he's more than that. Don't get me wrong. If he had his own team, he'd have crazy numbers. I get all that, but Jaylen Brown's an interesting player because he's not going to be, the second best player on teams don't, get their jerseys in the rafters, traditionally speaking. Usually they don't, right? You think of some of the greatest sidekicks of all time, the Pippins, the Wades. Those guys just aren't that collectible. And that's kind of crazy because they've done incredible things. Jaylen Brown is trying to become Wade, right? And so his Gold Prism is obviously one of his greatest rookie cards. It's a Pop 2 and a PSA 10, 5640. I think I've got this bad boy pulled up. I do. It's only sold twice. It's, again, a Pop 2, so it's sold twice in the last 2 years for $19,000 and then last night for $5,640. So if you're a Jaylen, super collector, what a great time to pick up some of those cards you always wish you could afford, but you never could. 9.5 Tatum, serial number to 25, really good looking card here. Rookie card, $6,300 for that Tatum. 8.5 Platinum Portraits Jordan, a Tier 2 card in the Michael Jordan hierarchy. This 8.5 does $6,300. And then in a Legacy Collection, row 0, Authentic Altered does $6,300. Those, of course, were serial number to 150. Let me know what you think in the comments about picking up an altered card, knowing it's altered or it having been deemed altered. What would you do if you had picked up this card? You crack it and try to get it to BGS. Is that morally, ethically wrong? If you crack this and send it back to BGS and say, hey, you know what, I want to give it another shot. Or you send it to SGC or you send it to PSA. I can see the argument on one hand, hey, look, I just wanted another opinion. Just because one grader said it's altered, I wanted to send it back to see if another grader from a different company or maybe even the same company disagreed and puts a number grade on there. Let me know if you think that's morally or ethically right. I didn't mess with this card because I've already got the card in PSA 9, but $6,300 for that Authentic Altered row 0, serial number to 150. I think this is a neat looking card. It's the Flawless Finishes Doncic Platinum Parallel. Great looking image of Doncic shooting his fadeaway, almost Dirk style, 6,900. By the way, that's a 1 of 1, and it's from 2020 Flawless. The first of a couple, I think, Kobe Platinum medallions. This die cut PSA 9 is serial number to only 50, and this is a Pop 1 with only 110 out there. And this card's got Tim Duncan in the background. Who's this fat guy here? That might be Oh, it's that guy from Pittsburgh. I can't remember that guy's name. Is that who that is? I can't tell who that is. Looks like, I don't know, looks kind of like Rodney Rogers, but I don't think he played for the Spurs. I don't know who that is. Somebody let me know in the comments if that's that guy from Pittsburgh. Kind of big, heavy guy. Was real good in college. I don't know if that's him, and I can't remember his name. He had 2 ACL replacements. $7,500 for that Kobe. I'm going to really kick myself when somebody comments and tells me who I'm thinking of was the guy from Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's him, but you guys know who I'm talking about. 2009 Exquisite Collection Steph, serial number to 225 autograph. I think there's two different 225 Davidson cards of Steph, whatever you want to call it. This one does 8,100. The Star Date Kobe, which is a card that we always laugh about because it was on the most preposterous roller coaster of any pandemic card. I think I'll put this card up there. The joke of a run that this card went on during the pandemic was as preposterous as even maybe the 86 Fleer number 57, to be quite honest with you, because going from 2,000 to 80,000 for a PSA 10 is almost as silly as going from 40,000 to 800,000 like the Jordan 86 Fleer did in PSA 10. So I don't know. Steve Davis's card right here, 92 Shaquille O'Neal members only, one of Shaq's most coveted rookie cards in a PSA 10 slab. This is a huge card. Steve got $8,100 for this card through PWCC weekly auction number 107. And as you can see, the last one sold for $6,500. That is a massive jump. That's a great jump. It's not quite back to where it was from March where it sold for $9,000, but $8,100. He's got to be pleased with those results, and of course, he'll plug in the PWCC will plug in the numbers and pop the money into his account, and then Steve can go do whatever he wants with it. Hookers and blow or whatever it is that Steve does. 1998 Ultra Platinum Medallion. I'm joking, of course. You know that he's a fantastic husband and friend and father. 1998 Ultra Platinum Medallion, PSA 9, serial number to only 99. Great image of Kobe. These 98 Ultra Gold medallions and Platinum medallions are badass. The Iverson's badass. The Jordan's badass. The Kobe's badass. Great images, beautiful photography. 8,700 for that Kobe. And then Steve's card here as well. The 1998 EX Century Dunkin' Go Nuts. You guys know the card well. PSA 10 does $9,000. You can see it right there. Another great sale. So maybe the 4th highest out of the last 7 sales. That's great. Up from $7,877 to a full $9,000. Only a pop 62. I own this card in a BGS 9.5 for a fraction of the price, which I'm happy to sit on. 9,000, yeah, less than half for a 9.5. Interesting. Moving along, we're getting close to the top. We got the Oscar Robertson PSA 8. That's no joke. That's a tough 8. I mean, it's kind of a overgraded 8. If I had, again, I'm not a vintage guy, but like I see right away, this card is extremely off-centered. 9,300 for this PSA 8 on the Oscar rookie card from 1961 Fleer. And then right next to it, we got a super rare Kobe StarQuest Gold. This is serial number to 100. It's a PSA 7. It does 10,200. I can't remember if I didn't look it up. Okay. And then the Total D, a card that's near and dear to my heart. I own this exact card in this exact grade. 11,400. Guys, that's a big sale for the Total D. Let's check this out over the last 2 years. Shit, let's check this out all time. You're looking at the record, right? How many Jordan cards have we looked at in this auction, and how many of them are on the rise? And everybody's like, you're crazy, you're biased, you're subjective. No, I'm telling you, I do the stupid auction recaps every week. The right cards for Jordan, they're all on the run. They're all on the run. And I'm not pumping dumping because I'm still buying the damn things. I just happen to own this one. But that's a graph for you right there. Let's just look at the last 2 years. Up 147%. I'd say that's pretty good, wouldn't you? 11,400 all-time record sale for the 1992 Fleer Total D. Great card. Great Jordan early insert. We talk about the Scoring Kings. We talk about the Total D. We talk about the team leaders. Those super early kind of paper, low technology inserts that bring back so much nostalgia of when inserts just started to become a thing in the 90s. This Fleer Total D is only a pop 29 and it just broke an all-time record last night, 11,400. Moving along, top row. Here we go. 2014 Prism Gold LeBron, serial number to only 10. BGS 9.5 does 15,000 last night. This is the best I can do for you guys because it's not in the Card Ladder database itself. Last night, 15.
$15,000. The sale before that was a raw copy, it looks like, for $6,000, and the sale before that was a PSA 10 in April of last year, so a little bit less than a year ago, for $19,200. If the PSA 10 did $19,200, was $15,000 in overpayment for the BGS 9.5 Min Gem? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. All I know is there's only so many LeBron Golds out there, and the further back in time you go, the more valuable they're going to be. 1984 Star 101 BGS 8.5 does $26,400. There's that card. That's again, I can't say it's a steady card, because when people purchase that card, they're looking. There's a hyper sensitivity to the subgrades, just like with the 86 Fleer BGS 9.5. But you got that problem with all of the grades in BGS. You got subgrades on all of them. There's just a hyper focus on those subgrades, and then just the eye appeal of the card. This card's down from the last sale of 29 to 26.4, but it's about the same as the sale before that. So it just depends on what kind of copy you're looking at. I'm not an expert on the card. I know centering left or right's oftentimes, the primary concern. This one's got an 8, I think it's an 8.5 centering, 9.5 corners, 9 and 8 edges or something like that. The number one card, you're not going to believe it, it's LeBron, and it's a commodity card. It's the 2003. We've seen this before with the Jordan 86 Fleer winning the auction and being the highest selling card. And again, $30,000 is not really a huge price for a card that wins the auction. $15,000 is really not a high price for a card that finishes third in the auction. Usually it's much bigger numbers. Go back a year ago and look at what some of the numbers were for the top three. Much different results, much different numbers, more zeros. This 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron Refractor PSA 10 does $30,000, and I've got it pulled up right there. More chaos, but down 16% over the last year. Watch this. Stay with me, okay? So are we seeing something? Over the last 6 months, same thing, down 17%. Over the last 3 months, what are we seeing here? Up 21%. And then over the last 1 month, exactly even. So what are we seeing? Are we seeing something? Is that something right there? I don't know. I don't own this card. It's a pop 177. Is that too many? Does it matter that there's 442 9.5s that you can pick up for 1/3 of the price? I don't really know. I don't know the direction that card is going. As I tell people the same thing I'll tell them about the 86 Fleer 57. I can't tell you how many is too many. I can't tell you how many. I can't decide for you what is high pop, right? I can't decide that. But what I do know, and this is not a guess, is that after doing this for 6, 7, 8, 9 years or whatever, however long I've been back in the hobby, the demand for that card is very, very, very high. It is a very high demand card because it's a card that's easy to digest for people that are new to the hobby or new to LeBron collecting. The LeBron Topps Chrome Rookie Refractor, it rolls off the tongue. The Jordan 86 Fleer, it rolls off the tongue. The Jordan Star 101, it rolls off the tongue. The Kobe 96 Chrome Refractor, it rolls off the tongue. It's a natural. It's like the gravitas, the gravity. It pulls collectors to it, and those cards all have humongous demand. And there is a point where if the demand is overwhelming enough, it can overcome a very high supply and a very high population. And the 86 Fleer is an example of that. This LeBron Refractor maybe is trying to follow in the footsteps of the 86 Fleer number 57. We'll see. LeBron's been doing some stupid shit with little emojis and crap like that. All of his little passive aggressive messages he's sending to people. Why can't he just speak like a grown man and just tell people what he thinks? Like, just tell people, hey, if you don't go get this guy, I want to be traded. Why don't you just say that? Kobe did it in the parking lot. Why can't LeBron do it, right? Jordan in his last year with the Bulls, I'm not playing for anybody except Phil Jackson. He didn't post an emoji of a stubborn person or, an emoji or, anything like that. He just freaking told people who asked him, here's the deal. This is where I'm at. I don't know why LeBron can't do that. I think he would garner more respect if he did. The player LeBron, unreal. Second. Number 2 on my list all time historically. But the LeBron silliness off the court, I don't know. I don't dig it. And it seems to be getting worse and more petulant. Top 10. Let's go back real quick. Top 10. LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Oscar Robertson, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. That's your 9. Let's go 10. Kobe again. So Kobe, LeBron, Shaq, Oscar,
that's a pretty impressive quartet at the top, or fivesome at the top. So as always, again, thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in selling some of your cards on the PWCC weekly auctions, please remember to use the promo code Cajun, all caps CAJUN, when you create your submission. It is incredibly easy and free to create a vault. There's no reason not to create a vault. It's completely free, and you can ship your cards there if you buy them on eBay. You can ship your cards there if you buy them on Golden. You can ship your cards there if they're in your office or in your house and you just want to protect the cards. When you do those submissions, they are as dummy-proof as it gets. If I can do it down here in Louisiana being a 50-year-old Cajun, then you sure as hell can do it, because you're probably younger, probably smarter, and probably almost certainly more tech-savvy. When there's the promo code that comes up and says fill in the field, just type in Cajun, CAJUN, all caps, and a little chunk of the PWCC money when your cards do sell, or even if you're just storing them in the vault, it helps the channel. A little chunk comes back to the Cajun Cardboard channel, so I can keep doing and providing you with the most consistent content on YouTube. As always, thank you guys so much for watching the weekly auction number 107 recap. This auction ended last night on February 4th. I hope you have a great week of Monday, February 5th. I try to get these things out to you guys as early as I can in the morning. And don't forget about keeping an eye on. Put something in your phone. Set your calendars. I want to do great numbers on my cards. Can you believe it? Somebody who just comes out and tells the truth. I hope my cards on PWCC Weekly Auction number 109 sell for a lot of money and get a lot of exposure. Yes, I do, so I can take that money and buy the hell out of Jordan cards that I don't own. There's your transparency. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Keep collecting. We got some great stuff going on the channel. If you're new to it, keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby. Peace.